And we're live.
Yes. Welcome in to the Tim McKernan Show, the Pick Six podcast, presented by the wonderful people at Tullamore Dew. Come on in, friends. You can participate in the comment sections. Personal attacks are welcome on Facebook, on Twitter, and on YouTube. Timothy Michael McKernan, Action Jackson, Virgin Pringles Sauce Boss, Producer Joe, the Mysterious G Unit, Iggy, and Gangster Repeat with you here as we pick games in fine fashion for this weekend's football slate, Jackson NBA slate. Iggy might go golf. I know we had a whole talk about that on the show this morning. And whatever else might get done. It's all brought to you by Tullamore Dew. And Tullamore Dew says, celebrate your favorite team's touchdowns this year with Tullamore Dew Irish whiskey. May their feet be swift and their aim true. May the refs be forever in your favor. And your whiskey always. Tullamore Dew. Tullamore Dew, the original triple blended, triple distilled, smooth sipping Irish whiskey made exactly for game day moments like this. When it's game time, it's Tully time. Please enjoy Tully responsibly. Tullamore Dew Irish whiskey, imported by William Grant & Sons, Inc., New York, New York. We are all in our own HomeLoanExpert.com studios. I am in my basement. I have a guest this week. My son is here, but he does not want to be on camera. You do not want to be on camera, correct? Does not want to be on camera, but he wants to watch his dad. I kind of feel like this is like when Michael Jordan would let his kid watch him practice, to be able to watch me perfect this craft of hosting a podcast for, what would you say? What, 3-4 people?
Yep.
At least. What an honor for him and an honor for me to share this moment with him. He wants to know if I can cuss on here. The answer is what, Producer Joe? You kind of handle the regulations for us. What's the answer?
Yeah, fire away.
Okay. All right. So Jameson, we can't use profanity on the show. All right. There it is. So that's been established. He understands it going in. He's my Curb Your Enthusiasm viewing partner. So he's familiar with the language. Here on the podcast, we have a major development. For the first time, I believe, this late in the year, Producer Joe is in first place. Producer Joe, how does it feel after a 5-1 weekend?
It feels about the same as going 3-3.
Interesting.
I mean,
he doesn't get too high, he doesn't get too low with this guy.
Makes sense, yeah.
It's about the same. It's what we're into week 11. There's a lot of time to kind of piss it all away, and I could go 4-20, give or take, over the next 4 weeks, and none of it matters. So
now, when you say going 4-20, is that a reference to the fact that Gangster Pete has gone 4-20 over the last 4 weeks?
But he also picked up. He did pick up a bonus win last week, since Missouri can't win 7 games at this point in the regular season. So
on the Missouri season total under from the beginning, and what was a headline maneuver. The man knew what he was talking about.
Yeah, and I picked up my bonus win for Northwestern under wins last week. So it could all disappear. So it doesn't really matter at this point. But I enjoy going up first or second so that I can just kind of listen away.
Now, I noticed Iggy just walked by his camera and grabbed his crotch. Was that a mere coincidence, or was that just a
signal?
No, I was just adjusting myself as I came back.
Batwing season.
It is. November has always been known as Batwing season. I noticed G Unit turns. Do you turn his mic on or off, Jackson, or is that him when he decides he wants to chime in with a Panthers take?
Whoa!
He had a brief appearance.
Everyone knows what that fat ass looks like.
Wait, did you see me?
Oh shit!
I'm trying to iron my clothes for this first reconciliation. Wait, did you see my?
Are you ironing with the phone?
Did you see my dick?
Did we see your dick? We did not. We saw your face, which was right there with it. Yep. It was I mean, that's big for the audience. I mean, you have been a man of mystery a lot of people think you're morbidly obese.
Yeah. That little flash wasn't going to do anything to differ their opinion.
Yeah. I mean, this is live. I can't edit that out.
Yeah, I mean, it's out there now.
Well, it is, but no, I don't even know what part because I was holding my clothes. I'm walking from the closet to the iron to iron this shirt. So what'd you see? Like,
We saw your face, baby. We saw your face.
you couldn't have seen. I mean, the phone's like down at my.
I don't know what to tell you. We saw your face.
It wasn't a
Just go back.
angle, fatty.
How'd I look?
Fat.
Indianapolis Star columnist Brian Henshin is watching on behalf of the people of Indiana, and he says he does look a little chunky, cute, but husky. What's up, Joe?
Hey, what's up, Hank?
Yeah. Henshin will still fuck you.
There we go. There it is.
Oh, that's great.
What's up, Jameson?
He knows the program. Jameson, you just got a shout out. You want to say hello? No, pitch out, nobody going. Yeah, he understands the program.
Smart.
Yeah. Yeah. So Joe, what were the records last week? You were 5-1. I thought I went 1-5, but Jackson told me I went 2-4.
Correct. I went 5-1, 1-0 with my lock, and picked up a bonus win with Northwestern. Unit went 4-2, 1-0 with his lock. Then 3-3 was Jackson on Wednesday night. He did miss his lock. And then we go to you, Tim, 2-4. You had Texas A&M along with the Packers and Chiefs under, so you hit both of yours. So you're 2-4, but you missed your lock. And then we go to Ken, who was 1-5, and Pete 0-6.
Wow. The chickens are clucking.
Yeah, I mean, Gangster Pete, you know, I got into the chat here, and you and G-Unit and producer Joe and Jackson were discussing it. It seems like there's a great deal of schadenfreude for our defending champion to run into a 4-20 cooler here in an 0-6 week.
Well, you know, it's going to be a great story when I dig myself out of this, Tim. So
Yeah,
I'm looking forward to that. I don't make excuses. I mean, I made bad picks. I mean, it happens.
Producer Joe, what are the standings now after Gangster Pete has gone from first down to what, fourth maybe?
He is in fourth place. First place, I am 33-27, 7-2 with my locks.
55% against the number.
Yeah, and 77% with my locks.
It really is.
Second place, Unit is 31-29, 6-4 with his locks.
What would he be if he didn't go 0-6 the first week?
Thank you, Pete.
Well,
that was so important.
You know, he would probably be in the lead at this point. Tim is 30-30.
He's in the middle of ironing.
Yes. Big reconciliation tonight.
Yep.
Tim, you're 30-30, 6-4 with your locks. Pete is 27-34.
Ugh.
5-5 with his locks. Ken is 25-34, 2-7 with his locks, and Jackson is 24-36, 3-7 with his locks.
Yeah, you can't go just to any podcast and get these kinds of results.
Overall, we are 170 and 190.
Nice.
And 29-29 with our locks.
Yep. So people come here for information, and we obviously we give it to the people. We're all in the homeloanexpert.com studios. That's Ryan Kelly. If you are looking to refinance, if you are looking to get pre-approved for a home, make sure you go to thehomeloanexpert.com. It is so quick, fast, in a hurry with Ryan Kelly. We were in his offices a couple days ago. He is working with Kurt Warner and bringing in coats for what was called back in the day. I don't know if they still call it that, Warner's Winter Warm-Up, back when Kurt would have people collecting coats outside the dome. And that's what Ryan Kelly is now working on, in addition to giving you the best rates he can for home, for pre-approval, and also for refinancing. It's thehomeloanexpert.com, Ryan Kelly. Also, once you get your home, make sure you get your insurance with James Carlton of the Carlton State Farm Insurance Agency, 314-961-4800. Go online at carltoninsurance.net. He's my guy, and I recommend he become your guy as well. You can get insurance anywhere. Ask yourself, if my provider is doing this for me, do I have to hit prompts? Do I have to deal with chatbots? Am I put on hold? Is it always a different person? Are they local? Are they proactive in the community? Do they represent the number one provider of auto and home insurance in the U.S.? That's the James Carlton State Farm Insurance Agency. They are right there in Webster Groves. They have over 50 years of experience in the business, and have a non-threatening customer-first approach. You can see the Google and Facebook reviews there. Give the James Carlton State Farm team a call, 314-961-4800, or go online, carltoninsurance.net, to see how their approach is changing the way insurance is done in 2021. And, of course, Munganess, St. Louis Acura.com and AltonToyota.com. Every week I feel like somebody's emailing me or DMing me with their experience with the great Jamie Burkhardt, Clayton Patterson at Munganess, St. Louis Acura.com, the official automotive provider of the Ryan Kelly Morning After and the Tim McKernan Show podcast. If you are in the market for a new car, a pre-owned car, or to get your car serviced, even if you didn't even get your car at Munganess, do so with St. Louis Acura.com and AltonToyota.com. They're the best, man. We have been so happy with that partnership. It's Munganess, St. Louis Acura.com, AltonToyota.com. Munganess, the official automotive provider of the Tim McKernan Show podcast. All right, Producer Joe, the floor is yours.
All right. Well, let's get started with a game that's going to kick off in about, 17 minutes.
Oh, I'm on this one as well. Where are you on this?
We are going over.
Wow.
Over.
I love giving the
between
people a lizard play. He loves this play tonight. I said, it's windy in Pittsburgh. Are you concerned? He said, I only get worried if it's 22 miles an hour or more. It's only 13 miles an hour. He loves the over. He's got it going at 79. He can't believe the number's only 72, Joe.
The two of the three top scoring offenses in the ACC. North Carolina is the second worst scoring defense. Pitt is not all that great, although they sit, sixth or seventh in the ACC in defense. They're just going to score. That's all it's going to be. I hit last night. Toledo nearly covered the total by themselves. It was
that right? Max went high.
It was 50 last night was the total with Toledo and Bowling Green. Toledo put up 49 on their own. I feel very, very good about this Thursday night over as well. We will go over 72 with Pitt and UNC.
Right.
Next play, United States, Mexico, tomorrow night, 8 o'clock from Cincinnati, World Cup qualifying. Over 2.5 goals. Late start, stupid 8 o'clock kicks, bullshit. But over 2.5 goals. Next up, Missouri, South Carolina. Two teams that aren't very good, but I think there's going to be a lot of points. Over 55 with Mizzou and South Carolina.
No, I'm not going to pick up any ground on you. We're on the same damn things.
Next up, Texas A&M on the road at Ole Miss. Ole Miss, all kinds of injuries, all kinds of problems. And Texas A&M is actually pretty good. I will lay less than a field goal, -2.5, Texas A&M.
Are there three teams in the country playing better football than Texas A&M right now? I pose that.
Georgia's one of them for sure.
Well, that's what I meant. Outside of Georgia, are there another three? And they probably can't get into 2 losses, but I mean, hell.
UTSA.
Iggy's on UTSA still, but outside of UTSA and Georgia. I would take A&M
probably not.
Cincinnati. I'd take them straight up against Oregon. I'd take them straight up against Ohio State right now. I really would.
I don't know if I would take them straight up against Ohio State. If Ohio State can work out their red zone problems, they're pretty good. Red zone scoring offense problems. But I'd take them definitely against Cincinnati and against Oregon. That's for sure.
Joe, your picks on winner. You have one more.
Nope. Final play in Indianapolis Sunday. Take the Jaguars +10. +10.
Wow.
With the Jaguars.
That is a very non-producer Joe kind of pick. Can I ask for reasoning?
I saw something on Twitter, I feel like, earlier this week that in the last 12 times they've played, I think Jacksonville has covered 11 of the 12 against Indianapolis. Just a weird matchup thing.
Wow. This is kind of a case, Gangster Pete, of a guy. What do they say? Dance with the girl.
Yeah.
He's kind of pivoting off the way he's played the game. And now, some people say when Ricky Fowler gets a lead, he gets a little tight. Joe has a lead late in the tournament, and he's going with a rare underdog play. Okay, hey, man, you're the leader. I have to tip my cap. It's just a surprising producer Joe play.
Joe sounds pretty full of himself right now. I like it.
2 weeks ago, I had two dogs, and they both hit.
Like I said.
Yeah, give or take, whatever.
Is
that G? It's time for our neighborhood ironing board to speak.
Show your face, fat ass.
We're gonna go to Miami tonight.
Wow, where do we go? What do we got going here? I'm anxious to hear.
The Dolphins are at home against the Baltimore Ravens. They're +8.5, and I'm going to take Miami, the dog. 77% is on Baltimore.
You like Jacoby Brissett?
Well, and I'm actually going to take a prop as my second bet. Lamar Jackson rush yards over 68.5 yards. That's tonight. And I was going to take his pass yards, but I think that's kind of be hedging a bet, most likely a wash. So I don't want to be a pussy that way because I'm coming after Joe. So that's 2. We'll take plus 8.5 Atlanta at Dallas. I like Atlanta in this spot. I like Dallas to win, but I don't think they're going to be covering many more games down the stretch. And so I'll probably be riding against them a lot. Paid off last week. New Orleans plus 3 at Tennessee.
Hey, you want some fish?
Sure.
My.
This store is open.
Say hi. Wait. Say hi to my neighbor.
Outside. What is?
Hi.
Hello. Welcome to the Pick Six podcast. I'm sure you recognize me. Above me is Jackson. There's producer Joe.
Hi,
Gangster
producer
Pete is
Joe.
left, and G Unit is ironing clothes.
Oh, wow. Sounds like you guys are having a blast.
It's really fun.
Yeah. I just got home from work, so
Are you Iggy's neighbor?
yes.
All right. Have you
Yeah.
ever had any of his fish?
I have. He's actually giving some to me right now.
Oh wow! I see. Was that a plate, Iggy? You got it wrapped up in foil?
I know he's fancy.
Yeah, it is.
Nice to meet you guys.
Nice
Have
to
a good
meet you.
Welcome to the show.
Yeah, that was wonderful.
I'm gonna have her make my picks next week too.
Yeah,
Mm.
she loves teasers.
I cannot believe nobody said anything inappropriate to her.
I held it back.
I wasn't sure who the person was initially. I was practicing restraint on the off chance that was a relative or
I thought it was a
law
bit.
enforcement. You know.
She's just a neighbor I give my extra fish to every Wednesday.
All right. You guys have a
her fish?
romantic?
Not yet.
Oh.
Not yet. Wow. Joy-
Joe,
joy.
why does it look like you're regurgitating?
Who was that?
Producer Joe.
Yeah. What's the problem, Joe?
It's all you, big boy. Maybe she'll invite you somewhere, and you won't have to ask why you weren't invited. That would be a nice touch.
Wow. Is that a reference to the Mike Claiborne Hall of Fame induction?
Yeah, it was only halfway awkward to hear somebody wonder if they were getting invited out loud. It was really.
And you
definitely
really took that seriously. You really understand.
Here we go. When we get
Dust
called
off
out for
this bad
bullshit-
boy.
When we
Here
get
we
called out
go.
when we get called out for bullshit, we're only joking. Oh, you couldn't tell I was joking. Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
I have no intention. I had no intention of going. I was just having fun.
Yeah. It's definitely not a Hoosier move. It's
No, it's not at all.
a Hoosier definitely would not have said something along those lines. But good for you.
Just move on.
Well,
Dotem is in the chat, and he wants to know if your neighbor has ever been with a woman.
Well, did you ask her?
I didn't have enough time.
Oh, I don't know. I've never asked her.
No. Well, next week we'll reserve-
Meanwhile, the person who was picking has now left the podcast.
Where did he go? He's got the reconciliation ceremony.
Oh, here he's back.
Hey,
Unit is back.
Dotem. Thanks for James Bond.
Welcome back, Unit.
Dotem active. Unit,
Am
welcome back.
Am I picking back up?
Yeah.
We were babbling on about betting against the Cowboys last we heard, and then Iggy's neighbor popped up.
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
he took the Saints +3.
Saints +3 at Tennessee. I just don't like the spot for Tennessee. I think they've been riding really hot, and this is a good drop spot for them. Seattle +3.5 at Green Bay. Russ is back,
Dangerous.
so I really like that. I think that's
Mr.
fine.
Unlimited.
What's that?
Mr. Unlimited. That's his nickname.
Never heard that. Has anybody ever heard that?
Neither have I.
I know who
He
Mr.
gave it to
Worldwide
himself.
is.
You're making shit up over there, Jackson.
I don't think anyone
No,
calls him
he
that.
gave it to himself. He made a really weird Instagram video. Here, I'll
Is
send
that
it.
right?
Was it on
Yeah.
Sierra's Instagram? If not, I
I'm
haven't
not
seen
gonna.
it.
I'm not gonna watch it. I don't really give a shit.
Sorry.
G Unit, are your 5 plays in?
Those are my 5.
The comments, unfortunately, not supportive of Jackson's nickname for Russell Wilson. Good one, Powder.
That's what he gave his nickname to. Whatever.
Powder.
Does Iggy have
Danger.
me blocked on here too? #TrashCast. I don't know who that. I don't know. All it shows me is Facebook user, so I don't know who's saying that.
I have an idea who it is.
You think it's Beer Cats?
Yeah.
Well,
Is it
I can't
Beer
block
Cats?
you. I can't block you on here. If I could, I would, but I have no control over this.
Who's up next at Prod Joe?
Not it.
Jackson.
Action
Oh!
Jackson.
Yes.
All right, I'll get off.
You went 3-3.
Nice. All right. Well, I gave Joe one of my picks because it tipped off 12 minutes ago. Andre Drummond over 15.5 rebounds.
Is there a live update on how many he's got?
He has 3 currently. So some work to do, but we'll get there, hopefully. Next, I have the Miami Heat first half +4 against the Clippers. Next, I have the Clippers team total under 108.5. Clippers team total under 108.5 against that scary Heat defense. Next, Pacers Jazz under 219. Pacers Jazz under 219. And my final pick before the lock, LaMelo Ball at home has yet to make less than 4 threes, so he's going over 2.5 threes tomorrow night.
Wow, this Action Jackson loves the association. Prod Joe, is it me?
It is.
It is me. All right, I am on 2 of your plays, which is not good strategy, but I was not expecting that. For those of you looking at degenerate tonight, you got 6 minutes to get the play in, and that's North Carolina Pittsburgh over 72. The Wizard says it's so square that you can't help it. And that's North Carolina Pittsburgh over 72. Hey, there goes Jameson. Jameson, you're on camera. You didn't want to be on camera. Now you're on camera. Can't get away now. Let's see what else I got. The other one that Joe's on, South Carolina, Missouri over 55. South Carolina, Missouri over 55. Then, in addition, Baylor plus 5.5 against the Sooners of Oklahoma. Michigan, Penn State under 48.5, and Wake Forest minus 1.5 against North Carolina State. Those are the 5 plays submitted by Michael McKernan and his associate, The Wizard. Next up, Kenneth Iggy Strode. Iggy, bring the heat.
I had to go with 5 teasers.
Yep, there we go.
I had 6 golf picks. That'd have been very quick for me, but sorry, Joe and Jackson, you got to write all these down. 2 of the games are going tonight. Kansas City plus 7.5 versus the Raiders. Notre Dame, Virginia over 54. Baltimore. Really? No, I wrote down -8, but I know it's not -8. That's -2.
Are you doing 10-point teasers or 6-point teasers?
10 points.
Break loose.
10-point. Okay, so it'd be 1.5 because units got them at 8.5.
8.5. All right. Yeah, I had a -8, but I didn't figure in the 10. So, all right. So plus 1.5. Next, Dallas, Atlanta over 44.5. Texas A&M plus 7.5 versus Ole Miss. Wisconsin minus 14.5 versus Northwestern. Cincinnati minus 13 versus South Florida. UTSA minus 22.5 versus Southern Miss. And Buffalo minus 1 versus the Jets. Next, Tennessee plus 7.5 versus the Saints. Arizona minus 0.5 versus Carolina. And tonight's game, Pittsburgh, North Carolina over 62. Same game, Pittsburgh plus 3.5 versus North Carolina. Utah minus 14 versus Arizona. And Indianapolis Pick'em versus the Jaguars. And I'll say my lock.
The host is busy.
The host is tending to his young tyke. All right, Gangster Pete, this is a big moment. This is a big moment for the bounce back. It begins now.
Well, I just had to call 2 audibles. I had A&M and I had Wake. I'm not here to tie you, dorks. So I'm going to switch it up.
You're not tying, buddy. Don't worry about that.
G-Unit.
Defending champ speaking unit.
I see that Buck Swope has taken a screenshot of G-Unit and posted it on the fan page.
That sounds like something he'd do.
It's very it's very nondescript. It's difficult to see, so you're not going to be able to be identified just from this little screenshot.
Well, good. It's not appreciated either. I mean, if I wanted to send a picture, then I'd take a picture of myself, like,
Like I said, not surprising considering the source.
Buck Swope. I've met Buck Swope too, by the way, on the golf course. Hey, yeah, thanks for posting that, Buck Swope.
Well, I mean, Jackson, you can knock it out if you want.
Yeah, sure.
G-Unit, you want us to take that down?
Well, I'm not on there. I haven't seen it. Yeah, if you can, I'd like it.
All right, Jackson, can you
It's
snipe
gone.
that? Okay.
Nice.
Okay, I'm ready.
All right, go ahead, Gangster Pete.
Purdue plus 21.5 at Ohio State. South Carolina plus 1 at Mizzou.
Wow.
Minnesota plus 4.5 at Iowa. That's a replacement
What
pick.
was that number? Minnesota plus what?
4.5 at Iowa. That's replacing my A&M pick.
Mm.
Air Force.
Where'd you get South Carolina at? Because I checked this afternoon and they're favored now by
Yeah,
one.
all
It's a
three
pick.
all three sites had different lines. I
Yeah.
got that one at Scores and Odds.
Okay.
Air Force what?
Air Force minus 2.5 at Colorado State. That's a replacement for my Wake pick. And then Washington State plus 14 at Oregon.
Gangster Repeat is in the books. Before we go to our locks, Design Air Heating and Cooling, the great Seth Goldcamp and DesignAirService.com offering this up for veterans. They're doing this all month, not just on Veterans Day. But if you are a veteran, you get a free furnace tune-up with Design Air Heating and Cooling. Online at DesignAirService.com. And if you have any furnace emergencies, it is going to be cold this weekend. What are we looking at here? Let me see what it's doing. Man, it's going to get down to the 20s on Monday. Highs in the 40s Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. You need a furnace tune-up. You can go to book now on Design Air Heating and Cooling's website, DesignAirService.com. And Action Jackson, can you tell the fine people about the great Mark Hanna of Evergreen Wealth Strategies? 314-889-0503 or online at evergreenstl.com.
I'd love to talk about Mark Hanna. I talked with him today, actually, before he came on the radio show. A delight, as always. You feel great after hanging up the phone with Mark Hanna. Because not only does he give you great advice, but he educates you on what is best for your financial future. And for me personally, I want someone to educate me on what the best plan forward is for my financial future. And that's exactly what Mark Hanna does every single time. So you should call Mark Hanna, because not having a plan for your financial future is a bad plan. A good plan is calling Mark Hanna, because what he'll do, he'll learn about you, he'll learn about your goals, learn about your financial situation, and he'll help you create a personalized plan that is best for you, and he'll educate you on that plan. So if you don't have a plan, don't wait. Don't just think you'll figure it out down the line. Instead, call Mark Hanna, and he'll get you straightened out. And if you already have someone, I suggest switching over to Mark Hanna, because he truly is that good.
How about that? Action Jackson with the endorsement. 314-889-0503. We're going on at evergreenstl.com. Our leader has left.
No, I'm right here. The dog's down here in the basement, so I'm just trying to fix her bed up.
Okay.
Sorry.
Iggy, what was that? Now you're regurgitating.
Yeah. Well, we're even.
Mine is an actual animal. Your neighbor just looks like one.
Oh, sweet mother of mercy.
That
Unit unmuted himself and got up from the ironing board. Here we go.
really just shows what kind of a human being you are, that you're making fun of somebody you don't even know.
You're right. I am a very shallow individual. I've never doubted that or denied it. So,
we're so close to the end, guys.
All right, producer Joe.
All right, final. My lock of the week is tomorrow night. Once again, World Cup qualifier, Cincinnati. I have got both teams to score in the United States versus Mexico. Both teams to score. That's minus 105.
Oh, that's an interesting bet.
Both teams to score, and what is that? Minus 105?
Pulisic's back.
Not starting, though.
All right. Next up is G Unit from the ironing board.
All right. Can you hear me good?
We hear you well.
Vivian.
I'm going to go with well, before I go with my final pick, I'll just say, I mean, because I'm probably more against censorship than anybody on here, other than Tim, maybe I would say. But so the reason why I keep my my face off the camera is just because
Fat.
this isn't my day job, really. So
Well, he pays everyone handsomely. It's not enough to raise a family. Huh?
So a lot of times I'm in front of a jury and picking the jury. So you have to ask the jury, do you recognize anyone here? And I mean, my client hadn't signed up with a dude that was on some sort of a stupid, podcast talking about betting. So if I lose a good juror because someone says, "Oh, I know that dude. He's on that podcast," then that's not doing a very good service for him. So that's why I do that. And a little bit to do with my weight problem as well.
Right.
But that's the main reason.
And I see a lot of big time lawyers in St. Louis go on TV shows all the time. Don't they worry about that?
Well, it's a
God.
I mean they could.
Wow.
They
Cross
could.
examination for Biggie.
No, I'm just asking a question because I mean, it's the top lawyers are every time there's a big case, they're on TV all over the place and they're doing press conferences, so their faces out there.
It just depends on how the juror handles the question. So you have to ask, do you recognize anyone here? Do you know anyone, anyone in your church? And if you get a hand raised, then you have to talk to them. I mean, you've been to jury selection before.
I haven't.
But a lot of those big time lawyers, I mean, they're not in front of a jury as much as maybe I am or other lawyers that practice in the courtroom. They're on TV a lot. And they're known a lot, but I mean, the guys that actually try the cases are sometimes they're younger guys that are, but it just depends. But a lot of times you can keep the juror anyways because they say no, it won't affect my ability to be fair and impartial. But if I were to lose one juror that I think would be favorable to a client because of just doing this show with you guys, I mean, that would be really bad, I think, bad practice. So that's why I do that.
There it is. G-Unit's explanation is officially submitted. G-Unit, now your pick.
Kansas City minus 2.5.
Kansas City minus 2.5, and they're going up against the Raiders?
That's right. And that's in Las Vegas. And this is it's kind of a heart bet because it's a huge, huge game for Kansas City. I mean, the division's on the line, and I'm heavily leveraged on the Chiefs to win the division. So they have to win this game, and I figure they do it by a field goal or more.
All right, there it is. G-Unit's play is in. Action Jackson, Virgin Pringle Sauce Boss.
I feel weird that, I don't know, this just feels stinky, but Baylor's at home, and they're getting 5.5 points against Oklahoma.
Right.
So I like Baylor. I like Baylor plus 5.5.
Tim, do you want to go and change your play?
No.
Oh, you picked it? I wasn't paying. I was looking for that Russell Wilson.
Just awful, really insulting.
I was looking for that Russell Wilson video.
The lock this week, the Wizard loves the Vikings +3 against the Chargers. +3 Vikings against the Chargers. The lock has been submitted. Very disappointed in my lock performance this year, but I'm going Vikings +3 against the Chargers. Kenneth Iggy Strode, the floor is yours.
I'm going Cincinnati minus 13 in the first half versus South Florida.
Okay. I kind of like that. I can't figure out what's going on with Cincinnati, man.
Yeah, they got to get healthy this week, and they got to start getting some style points. So South Florida sucks. I just figure they'll run it up early.
Friday night game. And Gangster Pete.
Middle Tennessee State minus 10 at home versus FIU.
There it is. The pick is in. Middle Tennessee State is in. Our podcast is concluded. It's presented by Tullamore Dew. Best of luck to all of the wagerers this weekend. Producer Joe and I are certainly hoping we see a lot of points in North Carolina, Pittsburgh, which is underway. G-Unit is monitoring Baltimore and Miami, the Dolphins and Ravens. We will look forward to joining you again next week for the Pick Six podcast. We will return to Wednesday. Thank you to everybody here on the podcast for adjusting your schedules for my deal. For Action Jackson, Virgin Pringle Sauce Boss, Producer Joe, Gangster Repeat, G-Unit, and Iggy, I'm Tim McKernan. This has been the Pick Six podcast on the Tim McKernan Show, presented by Tullamore Dew.